Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking and showing you how to create an outgoing webhook bot in Zulip. We're going to start with topics covered. To begin, we'll be going over the prerequisites, then how a bot works, bot server setup, or in our case, run bot, creation of an outgoing webhook bot, and how to add your bot to the Zulip server. Okay, for prerequisites, to start, you'll need Python 3 and you'll need Git. You'll need also a fundamental understanding of Python syntax because your bot is going to be written in Python, so understanding it is very key to actually, working. General uses of Zulip, access to a Zulip server where you have permission to add a bot, and a system to run the bot server on. So whether it be a personal computer, remote server, etc. Okay, so before we go into the outgoing webhook bot, there are other types of bots that you can also do. Generic, which is basically normal user. They listen to messages and have the ability to do anything normal users can do. Next, we'll have incoming webhook bots. These bots can send messages to Zulip, but cannot receive any messages. So they are best utilized for tasks such as automated announcements, etc. And then the one we're talking about, as you can see here, outgoing webhook bots. They are used for whenever you at them, they can send data and receive data. In this case, it kind of shows a little bit of the orientation. So you'll be dealing with the Zulip server and the bot server. You're going to be using Python Zulip API. In our case, we're using a party.py, which we'll show in a second. This is a little bit of the fundamental of how you set it up. You'll be sending a post request. This is all already ran on default through Zulip. You'll be sending it to the Zulip REST API. You'll be pinging the bot, whether it be an app mention or a direct message to the bot, and then it'll send a post request back, functionally succeeding in your outgoing webhook, and your bot should work. Now that you have a general idea about how Zulip bots work, you'll need to go into the GitHub Zulip API in order to customize and make your own bot. You can do whatever you want to do here, just make sure you clone it. So we'll be running git clone and then the specific HTTPS. After it's cloned, you'll need to ls if you want to check whatever. In this case, we'll be going into Zulip Python. And then here, you'll see a ton of different information, but the most important one is /tools/provisions. As you can see here, we kind of sped it up because it does take a very long time. That's normal. You'll then have it cloned. You'll go into whatever program you want to use. We'll be specifically using Python in VS Code. We go into Zulip bots. You'll find Zulip bots again. You'll find bots, and you'll see a list of a ton of names. These are all the different bots that are already created in the main push of Zulip. You just want to create a new folder, whatever you want to do. We're calling ours party bot. So we'll be just calling it party. Then in here, you're going to need to make two new files. You'll need to make a new file for init.py. That's just fundamental to make it work at all within the Zulip API. Along with that, you'll be obviously creating your actual code file. So in our case, we'll be calling it party.py, similar to the other naming structures. These are the two files that you'll need in order to actually create your bot. You can add additional testing, etc. if you'd like, but it is not necessary. After you're here, you'll need to add additional actual text. This is where the functionality of your bot will be going. Init.py is empty, but that is fine. It is just necessary to make it work. I have some code that I wrote previously. So you'll need to import your typing, your Zulip bots library. Your bot handler is very important. Name your class regarding the bot handler. In our case, it's party handler. Usage, this is only for the message that you'll be getting and receiving based on your bot running. So it's just whatever ours is used for. Ours specifically is party bot. So the main functionality of this is going to be handled in handle message. We just call it in the handle input. It's kind of pointless. You could put it in handle message if you would like. If you follow this kind of general structure or the structure as you can see in the other bots, it kind of covers the main points. In our case, we're going to be hard coding the Giphy connection. It just makes it simpler. This will be sending a response of confetti, as you can see here, with reply message. Along with this, we also have it responding with an emoji, as Zulip has emoji reactions. Ta-da is a confetti emoji. So if it ever detects the word party, it will not only send the confetti GIF, as you can see from the link, or on top of that, it will also send the reaction. At the bottom, you'll need to make sure you have handler class party handler. That is also necessary for the bot to actually work. If you follow this general structure, it will succeed. You can make your own customizable bot. Now for deploying the bot. You'll start by going into your user. In here, you'll find settings. You'll see something called bots. We will be adding our new party bot as we have set up. We have it going as an outgoing webhook. You have to name it something original. In our case, it doesn't really matter. Same thing with email. It has to be different from past emails. The endpoint URL, this is where things gets a little bit complicated. You have to set up using a cloud service or a service for a webhook. Ngrock is very much recommended. It's very simple to set up. After you have it set up, you'll see stable Windows, if you're using Windows, of course. And then from here, you have to set it up on your local host. After you run that, it should pop up with a link. You grab this link, you put it back into the endpoint URL, and here you're going to need something to actually webhook. You're going to have to grab information from somewhere. In our case, we use VS Code to create a webhook handler. And here, all you have to do is run the application. It's just basic. It doesn't send anything. It just grabs messages and then responds accordingly. This should pop up with something like this. It doesn't matter. We are using our personal environment anyway. And then you have to connect it using whatever your class name is. You can choose an avatar if you want, but it's not needed for this. You should be able to add it, and you should see it right here. After you see this, you'll see something called Zulip RC. This file, after you download it, should pop up as Zulip RC, whatever value it is. And then you should be able to go into your, after you run this, it should pop up with your message that you put into usage. In our case, we just talked about it being, a little joke on party mode. After this, you see this message, that means it is successful. You go back into your Zulip environment. You go to compose message. You go to the direct message. You add your specific bot. Ours is party yada yada yada. And then in our case, ours is supposed to respond with party with confetti and such. And if you send it, you check its messages. It should be doing exactly that. And you have your bot set up and working.